Hi, this is Luke, and today I wanted to show you this mod I did on my Boss Katana to stop the speaker from muting when you plug something into the record out. I love my Boss Katana, but my main issue with it is when you plug something into the record out, it mutes the speaker. So I found this guide online detailing the steps to do it, and in this video I'll be covering it. The first thing you want to do is disconnect your speaker, and then you're going to want to take out these 4 screws on the back side of the amp. After you get those, there's 2 more silver ones on the top. Once you get the amp out, you might want to take some photos or mental images to just remember how the whole thing went together. That way you put it back together correctly. So looks like we have to take off this back wooden cover. I think that's actually a heatsink, and that looks pretty simple, but I'm just kind of making sure that's what I need to do. So there's these screws here around the perimeter of this wooden block, and I'm going to take those out next. Once you lift that up, you're going to see some wires running to the main board down below. I'm going to disconnect that harness. And now you can pull that block out of the way. And now this is a good chance to take a look at everything inside. It looks like we've got one main power connector there, our speaker wire. That's a connector going to the control board, and then some more connectors on the back here. For this mod, I need to take out the main board, which has the headphone out jack soldered to it. So I need to take out the headphone jack and foot control nuts, and then I need to disconnect the wires inside, which I would recommend doing before this next step, which is taking out the screws on the standoffs underneath the chassis. So take those wires out first, that way you're not struggling and fighting the board while it's loose. Then once you have the 6 black screws on the left portion of the chassis out, you can just pop the board right out. Once I got it out, I left the speaker wire attached and just flipped it upside down because we only need to do a little soldering on the back side. This is where I referenced the guide online from someone who did this to the 100 watt head. I'll have the link to that in the description. I saw that they were connecting these 2 lugs on the bottom of the record out jack furthest to the edge of the board. So that's exactly what I decided to do on my board. This is where you could make this mod permanent by connecting just one wire and both ends of it to either side, but I'm putting a switch in the back of my amp so I can turn it on or off. Now I need to test and make sure that my switch works, which was a good thing because I did a terrible job soldering on the board at first. Here you can hear my guitar with nothing plugged into the headphone jack, and then as soon as I plug in this adapter, it mutes the guitar. Then I'll flip the switch and see if it works. And flip it back to see if it turns it off. Cool. I decided to drill the hole for the switch here. You could pick anywhere you want on the amp as long as you have room. And then I put some tape behind where I was drilling to catch any metal bits falling inside the chassis. Tape caught all the bits, which was nice. This is the spot I chose, and it seemed to work pretty well. I ran the wires underneath the main board right there, and I've got a little bit of slack in them just in case. Although the switch type I chose was not ideal for this mod. I would definitely recommend getting something much lower profile, as you'll see in a second in this angle. I'll probably swap out this switch for something else soon. Here's my final verification that everything's working. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe.